All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one will be doing another sort of Walking Dead updates type of video. First, we'll give our thoughts on how we think the group is going to escape the cave. Second, I'll answer some questions about my mental stability with regards to the end of The Walking Dead, possibly looming. And then we'll get into more of your guys' Q&A questions. Oh, and Ride with Norman Reedus has been renewed for a 5th season? Okay, so kind of continuing with the sort of every few days new Walking Dead video for you guys, because want to keep kind of, continuing to produce with you guys and have some fun with you guys. And it's been a couple days since Sunday since we made a Walking Dead video, so I decided, well, we got to make one today. We'll start with giving our thoughts on how they're going to escape the cave. And then some people have asked some questions about my mental state going into the end of The Walking Dead, and Ride with Norman Reedus being renewed for 5th season. So starting things off with how they're going to escape the cave, there was a pretty good prediction that came through from James McBreen, who said that Lydia is going to obviously save Daryl and the group. And I think that's actually a pretty good prediction because she is kind of somewhere in there, right? So it's sort of like Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 finale, like with the Sherry kind of prediction. It's like, okay, who could be in range, who could be close, right, to where they're at? And it's true that in The Walking Dead, with the mid-season finale cliffhanger, that Lydia should be somewhere in and around there in Whisperer territory. So it is possible that she may kind of find her way over there, maybe hear some of the ruckus or something and head over there to kind of help them out. But from the trailer, it kind of looks like they're going to have to sort of fight their way out, and it'll be somewhat like a labyrinth type of situation. And a lot of people have been thinking that Jerry might die in that process because in the trailer you can see him and he's kind of fighting his way out, and it looks pretty obvious like something's gonna happen to him. So we'll see if that's true or if they did that purposefully with the trailer to kind of make it look like Jerry's in peril and then somehow he'll survive. But should probably expect to see maybe one of the members that are kind of in the cave probably not get out. It's just kind of a funny thing. Some people also pointed out, like, how in season 8 they were kind of in the sewer. And then, this year again, too, they're kind of stuck in the cave. So they put them in different, kind of interesting situations to see how they'll get out. I also wonder how many zombies are in the cave with them. Because if there was 10,000 or more zombies, how did she stuff them all in there, right? So, but I guess with zombies, they're so brainless, they'll follow you anywhere you want to lead them to. So I guess it could work as far as that goes. But there was also Angela Kang who kind of said that, so that's kind of where they're going to start off, is them in the cave, and they're going to have to sort of kind of work their way out. So it'll probably be maybe a couple episode type of deal for them to actually escape. And then we'll probably get to see somewhere around there Michonne's final episode or episodes. And then probably ensuing with the Whisperer War to wrap up the season. And I still think part of the Whisperers probably surviving on after the season and still being kind of a looming sort of smaller threat in season 11. So I would expect to see them a little bit in the first half of The Walking Dead season 11. Kind of similar to how, even after All Out War, there was still the little part of the Saviors kind of joining Rick and the others in season 9's beginning. And then, of course, when Rick left with the time skip, that sort of was all kind of resolved. But there was at least some kind of leftover saviors in the first half of season 9. I would expect to see that with the Whisperers in season 11, right? So there's that. So you guys can leave your predictions on what you think below as far as them, escaping the cave, how you think they're going to do it. And, I don't think it'll be like a 5-minute thing at the beginning of the episode and then all of a sudden they somehow use a rope or something and get themselves out. I think they're going to have to kind of fight their way through, and it's going to be kind of one of those types of scenarios. But it could be kind of exciting to see. It's a new location. It's a new type of environment that we haven't really seen before. So it's kind of cool, right? So that's that one. The next one from Jeremy Smith, who says that I think Trev is having a mental breakdown with the looming possibility of The Walking Dead ending. So, and it's a good question, right? Like, will I have a mental breakdown with The Walking Dead end? Some of you guys are worried. But, I know for you guys, as with all of us, a lot of us have followed the series since for many, many years. Some from the beginning, some maybe they started checking it out in the first few seasons or the 5th season. And I'd also like to hear from you guys. When did you guys first check out The Walking Dead? When did you start watching? What year was it? Or which season was being released when you first checked out The Walking Dead? Because I want to hear from you guys, like how many years you've watched it for. Were a lot of you there in the beginning, or was it like season 5 when things were going really good that you kind of you checked it out for the first time, and then you were like, wow, this is amazing, and you wanted to watch the rest of it, and you got caught up within like a short period of time, and then you just continued on. So leave a comment below and let me know when you guys started watching. I'd like to kind of see that. But it's kind of a funny question from Jeremy, but at the same time, you know, there is some kind of substance to what he's asking or what he's saying, which is like, Trev, you know, a lot of people have asked it too, like, Trev, you're gonna be okay when The Walking Dead ends, right? So, well, the other thing too is like, if you look at Ride with Norman Reedus, which link will be in the description, it's been renewed for a season 5. So literally a TV series where Daryl rides around on motorcycles has gotten a 5th season. That's how much AMC has used the Walking Dead license. So I forget about this, right? It's like you got the Walking Dead original TV series, you got Talking Dead, you've got Fear the Walking Dead, you've got the new series, right? The 3rd series, World Beyond. And then you got Ride with Norman Reedus. And I'm probably forgetting about some other sort of series that they've done, but that's 5 different shows, if you count Talking Dead as like a legitimate, you know, full-on show, which I guess it is. It's just that it's kind of like a talk show, so it's not like Fear, but it's a talk show, and it's substantial, and it helps them out as well. So it's like 5 different shows, and then the movies are coming too. So AMC certainly is not going to want to let that go, considering it spills over into all these other things. You know, it spills over into Talking Dead. It spills over into Ride with Norman Reedus. Would people still watch Ride with Norman Reedus if The Walking Dead wasn't on? Actually, they might. Can you imagine, like, Ride with Norman Reedus gets like a 10th season or something, and literally for him, it's just going around hanging out with people and, you know, riding motorcycles and stuff he loves to do anyway. So can you imagine if that would be like, after Norman Reedus is done with Walking Dead, he just rides around on motorcycles all day and they just bring a camera and that's a show? Like, that's what it is. Like, you're gonna sit here and tell me like it's really that hard for them to do it. It's not. He just, he rides around on motorcycles. Maybe they go to a few special places, or he goes to see some special people, like Walking Dead co-stars. Like, I think they did one with Andrew Lincoln, didn't they? And one with JDM, which is really fun. But it's just crazy to me that you can literally do a show like that and it works. Like, it's got 5 seasons of the show just of him riding around on motorcycles. So with that being said, there'll probably be always something Walking Dead on AMC. There'll be something. Even if the original canon series ends, they probably will do another spinoff, or they probably will do something else after that. Or if we just have Fear to watch and Monument, or World Beyond as it's called now, then hey, that's fine too. So, but will I be okay for Jeremy and for the others? I'll be fine, guys. Don't worry about me at all. Obviously, this has been really fun to do this with you guys. I say, if I want to be specific, it's been basically 11 years of doing this with you guys here as a community. I started reviewing the Walking Dead comics a year before the TV series started. So that's 11 years I've been doing this with you guys almost every day. So sure, when you do something every day for 11 years, so there's 2 parts to this. There's me as doing this in the channel with you guys, and there's me just as a fan, right? As a fan, I still love The Walking Dead as much as ever, and that part of me will be sad, as it will be for all of you guys who, watch the series and love it and are part of the community, and, and look up stuff like this online and are here right now, comment about it, do predictions about it, that kind of stuff. So, so that part of us obviously will be sad, but there'll be other shows to watch. There'll be other stuff that comes on. As far as that goes, that's not, you get sad, right? Obviously, you're going to get sad. Just like when the comics, ended in the summer this time. It was very sad. You get a little bit depressed. You get sad because you really love something, and if you follow it for over a decade or so, or for many years, I guess it doesn't have to be that long. Everybody's going to get sad if they really care about it, if they really love it, right? And they have to kind of, if you love something, you let it go. It's very sad, right? It's a very, very sad situation. So that's what it is. Now I get the drive every day, the instinct every day to create a video, and it's probably because I've done it for like the 11 years. So for me to stop doing that is something is very difficult. Like lately I've been selling some figures and doing some other stuff instead of just making videos all the time. But it's very, very difficult for me because I have that built-in instinct to in my mind every day after I'm done work or whatever, my day shifts or whatever. It's like you got to make a video tonight, right? Like every day, right? It's like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. So when The Walking Dead ends, like when the comics ended, there's no reason to do videos on comics anymore. No one will care to watch it. It's over, right? So you just got to let it go. When that eventually happens to the TV series, it will be tough for me to let that go. It will be tough. So his question is not totally unfounded, which is that I think what he's half joking, but also he's kind of serious too, in that, you know, you guys can all see how much I love Walking Dead, and a lot of you guys do too, just as much as I do. So for us, you know, who do love the series that much and do love the property that much, it will be difficult to kind of let go, and it will be sort of a year or 2 years or whatever, probably process of the next year. You know, September comes up, October comes up, and there's no new Walking Dead on, and you know that'd be kind of sad, right? So it's what it is. The same thing's kind of happened with Game of Thrones, where, you know, when the summers come up, the spring comes up, you're like, oh, isn't there a new? Oh no, there isn't. It's over, right? So that sucks. Yeah, for me, it's part of my career too, because like I said, I produce videos every day. I've done like over 4,000 videos, which is over a video a day for 10 years. Like I said, probably closer to 11 and a half years now. So that's going to be difficult to let that go, especially because I love doing it with you guys so much. But like I said, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to transition into doing other things, and I'm going to try to stay positive as best as I can. But, you know, it will still be really sad, and I can't discount that. I might have to take a bit of time off work, you know, for my day job when it does eventually end here, because I'm sure I will be. I might not be in a good mental state to be talking with clients and doing stuff like that. I might have to distance myself for a little while and say, hey, you know what, Trev, you got to take a little bit of a break. This is a big life change you're going through. This thing that you did every day for 12 years, you're not going to be doing anymore. Maybe you can do it for other series. Maybe you can do whatever. But, you know, mentally, that is something that you can't... you shouldn't undersell it and just say like, oh, it's no big deal, we'll just find something else, whatever. That's kind of fraudulent to do that to yourself, I think, for me in my situation, because, you know, I did put so much work into it. It is such a big part of my career, and it's literally like half of my career, which is crazy because I studied computers for like 6 years, and, you know, with the YouTube channel, I just started doing it, and it just, I didn't go to school for it or anything. I didn't, you know, I didn't get certified. Well, like a silver play button or whatever, but I didn't put the same amount of work into it as I did my regular career job, and literally it's like half of my career. So it's really crazy, and I'm very fortunate for that. But yeah, it's going to be definitely a difficult process for me to go through, and you know, I'm going to try to pivot and to do other things, and maybe to pick up other shows, which I'm starting to do right now anyway. Maybe review a new show every week or every couple weeks, and try to do that with the channel with you guys, because I love doing this so much. I don't want to kind of stop doing it. But like I said, AMC will probably always have something, and the Walking Dead movies eventually will be coming out, so there'll be something there. You know, in life there's all these different, you know, changes, things change over time. But like I said, worst case scenario, I just take a little bit of time off work. I take some stress leave for a month or two, just take a break for a little while, maybe go on vacation or something, just take some time off when it ends, just to kind of deal with that sort of life change that for me will be kind of a thing. And yeah, so that's total candidacy there. Totally honest with you there, Jer. It will be a bit tough for me, as you can see, but I shouldn't go in, you know, kind of with a fraudulent attitude like, oh, it's no big deal, it's not going to affect. No, it would have an effect when you've, you know, it's the same thing as if you have a job you really like, that's your passion, and one day you go in the office and they just say, hey, you know, Jeremy or whoever's watching this, Brian, for example, is another name we got here. Hey, Brian, or hey, Jeremy. You know how you've been working here and you've really enjoyed it for these 12 years or 13 years or whatever? Sorry to tell you, but we're going to have to let you go. You know, that's the difficult thing to take. You know, when you go through that process of being let go, or maybe it's lack of work, so maybe you're not fired, but maybe they just say, hey, you know, we had this department or whatever, and it was doing great, and now it's over, whatever, we don't need any more. We merged with another company, we downsized or something, and we got to let you go, right? That is a tough thing to go through. In some cases, for some people, they really, really loved it a lot, and it was a sense of their identity to do that job every day, 40 plus hours a week or whatever. They might have to talk to somebody, or they might have to kind of take a break for a little while and then try to find something else later. So it's as far as the work portion of it and the job portion of it, doing it all the time, that's something that's entailed for me specifically as well too, and that's something that, you know, I can't discount and just like laugh off and say it's no big deal. It's the same thing as if someone had a job they really loved and they got let go one day because it ended, which happens to everybody. You know, everybody, like, you go through life. How many people start one job when they're 18 or 19 and they work there until they're 65 nowadays, and then they retire? Nobody does that nowadays. The average job lasts like 3 or 4 years, and then people switch to something else. So, you know, it's just, that's not something that really you can really think of nowadays as realistic to say, I'm going to work there for 40 whatever years, and then I'm going to retire there. That is very rare. People who have that, or who are able to do that, that's like 1 in 1,000 nowadays, or 1 in 100 probably at the most, I would think. People switch a lot, and, you know, mentally, yes, it does take a toll on you when you have to switch. So, but I don't want you guys to worry about me. I'll be fine. I think it's better to go in ahead of time, having that honesty with yourself and knowing that this will be a tough period for you, so take it easy and try to take some time if you need to and kind of figure things out emotionally and mentally, because it's something you really, really care about, you really love doing, and when you got to let it go, yes, it does have a little bit of hurt with it too. So the hurt that can happen, right? So and it will, but we'll get through it together. And for you guys too, I'm not putting myself above you guys. I'm sure there's some of you guys maybe who might be even more sad than I am when it ends, because maybe some of you love it even more than I do, right? And I shouldn't act like well, other people might be the same. So after 12 or 13 years of following it and everything, they might be just as sad as you, Trev, or maybe even more so. So for all of us like that, yeah, we shouldn't discount it. We should understand that it's going to be a bit of a process. It's going to take some time, but we'll get through it together, and it'll be okay, right? So don't worry about me, guys. Be just fine. Brian Achim, we'll do just a few questions for today, just some fun stuff. Says, when will they finally confirm Heath's return? So again, more questions about Heath. Doesn't seem to want to go away. Maybe he'll be back in the movies for Brian. I could see him being a supporting character in the movies for Rick and that kind of thing, because he was connected to Alexandria there. So maybe they'll use him for that. Or maybe they transformed him into West, like we've said in Fear the Walking Dead. So maybe we'll never see him again, because Corey Hawkins, I think his career has done really well. Once people are in The Walking Dead, like actors, actresses, even if it ends or whatever, or they get killed off, they're probably going to do just fine, because everybody watches The Walking Dead. So people see them, they know them, they're going to be able to be cast in movies or other TV series or whatever. They're going to have great careers because The Walking Dead was so popular. Everybody watches it. So, when they do casting, when they go for casting and go for to read for parts and stuff, it's going to be a foot in the door right away for them. People who are involved in the show too, I don't think they have anything to worry about. It's just going to propel their career forward even further. And after it ends, they're just going to get even bigger and better parts, probably like what happened with Corey. I'm sure it'll happen with others as well too, because everyone sees them, everyone's going to recognize them and know them right away. And that goes for Fear. That goes for the original Walking Dead series. We'll see with the new series how it's received. But nothing to worry about from as far as that state goes. But I'm not sure if we'll ever see Heath again. Maybe we won't, and that's okay if we don't too. I'm kind of okay with that as well too. It's good for Corey, right? Good for him, man. That's good. We should just be happy for him. The Ghost Show after the house tour video said, "Can I get your address? Are you married?" And this kind of thing, so I'm tired of those questions. But no, Ghost Show, you cannot have my address. No, I cannot give you my address. I give you enough stuff, or where I live or anything. No, I give you enough stuff by showing you into our home and showing you like the whole house, even the bathroom and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and my basement, my man cave, which I don't even bring. If people come over, I don't always let them see the basement, because they can see that, oh my goodness, this is like a store inventory down here. Like, there's some cash down here, like 20, 30 grand or something. So I don't even, I let you guys at my home. I show you basically everything. And no, I cannot give you my address. What a ridiculous question. Ash Williams says, what's the background behind your channel's name? No big deal, Ash. Just I started a bunch of channels because back in the day you couldn't get partnership approved right away. You had to apply for it. And the second channel, this channel right here, number 2, just happened to get partnered, and it made it through, and so I continued with it instead of the other. I had like 4. I still have my original. Trevor Harris 881 is my original account too, which you guys can check out as my parents' house and stuff. Back then, like, that's like over a decade ago. That's where you get into the 11-year period, like before even The Walking Dead started, when I was just messing around with comics and figures and stuff. So that's the backstory behind it. Just the second one worked. That's it. Brett Werner will be the last one for today, and he says that I bet they'll have a Walking Dead movie trailer during the Super Bowl. So yeah, man, I think you're right, Brett, and that's true. We'll see when the Walking Dead movies hit eventually here next year, or whenever the first one's ready, how that impacts the other series, if that brings a lot of people back to Walking Dead, if that makes people excited for Walking Dead again. And also spills over into Fear and spills over into World Beyond, and just how people respond when that trailer hits. So that's right, man. We got to be excited for that. And isn't it funny too that with the amount of time it takes them to do the movies, it's very likely that Rick will actually be alive in the movies after the Walking Dead TV series has ended. Because if they do 12 seasons or 13 seasons, that's just a few more years. And the first movie will hit probably next year, but then the second movie and the third movie will be a couple years after that. So actually, when the original Walking Dead TV series ends, The Walking Dead will still be alive. It's just that it'll be released in a movie-type format, which is really cool. So think about that for a second, is that Rick actually, in terms of our chronological time, probably will be around past the others, because it'll be in the movies and not in a weekly TV series for the run of the show. That's kind of interesting to think about. Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know how you guys are doing. Leave those comments below on how you're going to do when The Walking Dead eventually does end. Are you worried or anything, or are you just like, oh, I'll just watch something else, no big deal for me, right? So, or maybe some of you are more kind of like, oh, it's so sad, it's going to suck so bad. So I feel you for sure. And how they will escape the cave, and then Norman Reedus' show of him riding motorcycles getting a 5th season. That's crazy. Thumb out the video, share, favorite it. It's great seeing you guys again. Happy holidays with that coming up soon to all you guys. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.